Hey everyone, welcome back to the Critic-Verse. We're continuing with our catch-up review of Warrior with Season 3, Episode 5, titled Whiskey and Sticky, and All the Rest Can Wait. Now, before we get to the episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep updated on all things Critic-Verse. Now, let's get to the review. The episode is once again titled Whiskey and Sticky, and All the Rest Can Wait. This line is said by Young near the end of the episode, after his whole ordeal is done and he's back home. When asked what he went through, he says the line, not wanting to talk about it just yet, and just enjoy the freedom that he just got back. But the line also pertains to Assam, because throughout the episode, Sahm and Hong try to come up with various ideas about how to get Young out in a very short amount of time, and Assam having to make a deal he really doesn't want to, and he's worried about how Young will respond. The episode begins with the aftermath of Mai Ling's arrest also being shown parallel to the aftermath of Young arrest. And as Young is being removed from a carriage with a bunch of other onions, Mai Ling is alone in a cell being bathed and disinfected by two police officers. And while Young is in a state of confusion because he wasn't taken to the jail as he initially thought, he is being herded into a building with other Chinese asking where they're being taken, then being told that they're being sent back to China. Then later, Mai Ling is in a cell with only a raggedy blanket to keep her warm, and Young is trying to inform the guards that he's an American because, as we know, he was born in San Francisco, but the guards do nothing but mock him and then beat him and tell him to get back in line with the rest. Yong makes a plea to the elders to let him approach the 6 companies and use their connections with City Hall to get Mai Ling out. But the elders deny his request as Mai Ling made the investment without talking with them and has left them vulnerable. He looked to Kong Pak, but he remains silent. As Yong leaves, Kong Pak soon follows him. And as Kong Pak tries to smooth things over, Kong Pak reveals how much Mai Ling invested, which was 1/3 of the Tong's cash reserve, which does surprise Yong. Kong Pak says they need a leader that serves the Tong and not the other way around. After that, Yong leaves. Buckley is then shown giving a speech at the deportation center, which is where Young is being held. Buckley is using this center to bolster his polling numbers, but it doesn't seem that he's got the crowd's attention. Miss Archer seems to have also joined his campaign party, and his campaign manager delivers bad news on how his opponent Thayer turned around the whole brother-in-law opium addict, and Buckley threatens to replace him if he doesn't do something about it. Sahm and Hong are also at the deportation center checking ways to get Young out. Hong suggests fighting their way in, but Assam says there may be more men they can't see. They also can't buy them off because of the new chief, and Hong lets us know that the next boat leaves in 2 days, putting a time crunch on things. Young gets food and some moldy bread and is confronted by another detainee and recognized as the leader of the Hop Way. He informs Young of the odds of escaping, but Young claims his brothers will get him out, even destroy the place if they have to. The guy then claims to have bunks and tobacco, and when Young follows, it turns out to be a trap. His father was a tailor, even made some suits for the Hop Way, but when he missed the payment, they busted up his shop. None of the men there are fans of the Tongs. Young muscle memory kicks in and has him reach for his knives, but they aren't there, meaning he has to take on 8 guys, Dolly. and let's see how he does. Surprisingly, he holds his own for a while, improvises, takes their own weapon, breaks a guy's hands, uses a bed frame as a weapon, even sheets. But the numbers just aren't on his side. But lucky for young June, the bulls come and save his ass as he falls unconscious. Lee Young pulls up on a lawyer friend that Mai Ling has with connections, who says he hasn't seen Mai Ling, but he knows what Buckley wants. And it turns out Lee Young already has the photo on hand, but repeats "get her out" and then disappears when the man looks away. Lee is asking the printer, Yan Mi's father, about the counterfeit, while Mosley is tearing up the man's shop looking for the plates. The printer is sick and none of this is helping his condition. Yan Mi arrives and she explains that her father knows nothing about it. He's a good man, but he's sick, and that is all true. Agent Mosley still seems suspicious, but agrees to leave when Lee suggests it. Buckley expresses that he's used to being the puppet master, but now he's the front man, and Catherine makes a move. And after Buckley retracts, Catherine becomes direct, and she and Buckley get sticky. Yan Mi meets with Assam, spooked at the Secret Service's visit, and tells Assam he needs to move the plates, and she's scared. Assam says he won't let anything happen to her, and she says he can't promise that. And I kind of agree with her, because it just sounds like they're waving a death flag over her character. Mai Ling is visited by Buckley, who's pretty smug at the situation and probably the sex he just had. He says now that he has the photo, he doesn't need her, but Mai Ling makes her case and says he needs her because the power vacuum that her deportation will cause will spark a war, and she can stop that, and promises to crush the Hopway as well. Sahm and Hong are interrogating one of the guards for information. Assam tries to appeal to the man's survival instinct, but his stubbornness prevails and Hong goes to work. The San Francisco Police Department is conducting another raid, and as they are ripping a baby away from its mother, Bill steps in. He can no longer stomach this, and he protests against Atwood, and then throws his badge down and walks away. And I didn't expect that from Bill. I mean, kind of did, but not in that situation. Young June is being cared for, and a familiar voice says he's still picking fights he can't win. And it turns out it's none other than Father June, Young June's father. And it's actually him and not a hallucination. And as Young June catches Father June up on the events that led him there, Father June tells him how he got there as well. And it's a crazy story. Hong pitches another idea that Assam shuts down. He tells Hong about when he was arrested, and Hong asks him how he got out. And Assam says someone owed him a favor, not saying who that someone was. And Hong asks if that someone owes him another one. But Assam says it doesn't work like that. Assam then goes to talk with Chow, and Chow tells him Mai Ling got out. But he also lets him know that there are rumors about the fake chop and the connection to Hop Way, and if Happy Jack finds out. But Chow says that he has a plan that can take two birds out with one stone, but it's going to be a pricey stone. Mai Ling and Lee Young reunite, and Lee Young tells her that the elders want to meet to discuss her leadership. When asked whose side he's on, he emphasizes that he's the reason she's still there, and that the elders wanted to leave her. She apologizes and confirms the money is gone, but she'll make it up to them. Chow makes a deal with Happy Jack to get rid of Lee, and Jack reveals the wanted flyer. But Jack does agree to the plan nonetheless, but says it can't take place in his territory. Father June discusses going back, saying he's only going back in a box, and gives young June makeshift shivs, talking about going out strong. Assam comes to Mai Ling to ask her to get young June out, and offers her $1,000 in counterfeits. But Mai Ling knows about the counterfeits and makes a counter offer. Half of the counterfeit business in exchange for getting young June out and a safe place to print the money, and Assam has no choice but to fold. Young June and Father June are about to go down scrapping when the man that got Mai Ling out comes for young June with a court order, and young June tells him to get his father out too, leaving the man in a difficult position nonetheless. Atoy tries to calm down an angry Lai, saying they need time to heal and time to plan. When Lai swings at her, Atoy easily dispatches her, saying that they both aren't ready. Later, young June hops out a carriage, and then they begin to joke, but young June asks how they did it, and as Assam is about to tell him, Father June hops out the carriage as well. Hong then asks what the hell happened, but young June then says the episode title. Later, Lee Young is upset Mai Ling made another deal without him, but she explains the benefits of this deal. And then she sort of proposes to Lee Young, and he accepts. Young June celebrates at a toy, but in private, he expresses his contempt for the situation and his anger with Assam and how he blames him. Assam then throws it right back in his face and leaves. Later, Mosley goes with Lee to Chow's, but they split up, and as Mosley goes around back, he is almost caught off guard from behind. Jack comes in and knocks out Lee, but he also knocks out Chow, stating that it's for the principle of the giving him the fake chop. Okay, what an unexpected episode. I mean, so many things happened that I didn't see coming. First, the return of Father June. I thought he was long gone, but he serves as sort of a cautionary tale for what happens when you leave Chinatown. I guess that's the role him and Atoy served this season. Bill quitting the police department. I mean, I figured that's where his story was going since he didn't get the chief position, but I just wanted to know how he'll get back because I don't think he'll stay not a cop for long. Another unexpected storyline, Buckley having sex. I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, Catherine probably felt it, but I definitely didn't see it. Mai Ling proposes to Lee Young, and I knew she was progressive, but I didn't think she was that progressive. Although she sort of is the dom in their relationship. One thing I'm kind of conflicted on in this episode is that we almost got the leaders of the Tong to be both people who can scrap without weapons. But I am happy that Young June didn't get deported. I kind of did figure that he wasn't going to get deported, but I didn't see how coming. And the deal with Mai Ling was pretty smart, and it serves both of them. One thing I also figured is that Happy Jack was going to double cross Chow, but I'm really not happy about that. I just saw it coming. So sometimes it sucks to be right. Next episode is going to be The Favorite. It's, of course, the annual standalone episode, the one that takes place outside Chinatown. And it has a special guest, and I can't wait to talk all about it. See you next time on the Critic-Verse.